If you're a man over 50 and you've been feeling like a softer, more tired, more irritable version of yourself, I want you to listen closely because what's happening to you may have nothing to do with age and everything to do with a hormone most men never think about. Here's the part that surprises almost everyone. The hormone quietly draining your energy, your edge, and your drive isn't low testosterone on its own. In a huge number of men over 50, it's estrogen. Yes, men have estrogen too. And when it climbs too high relative to your testosterone, it can hijack the way you feel, look, and perform. By the end of this video, I'm going to share the single biggest hidden driver of high estrogen in men your age, the one almost nobody talks about. So stay with me, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'm not a doctor, and nothing here is medical advice. I'm a men's health educator, and for years I've studied what actually moves the needle for men in our age group. So let's walk through 6 signs that your estrogen may be running too high, and then I'll show you natural ways to bring things back into balance. Sign number 1, stubborn weight gain, especially around the chest and the belly. Now, every man expects a little softening with age, but estrogen-driven fat is different. It tends to settle in 2 very specific places. The first is the lower belly, that deep, stubborn ring that won't budge no matter how many sit-ups you do. The second is the chest. A lot of men over 50 quietly notice their chest getting softer and fuller, and they assume it's just being out of shape. But here's the mechanism. Body fat, particularly belly fat, contains an enzyme called aromatase. Aromatase takes your testosterone and converts it into estrogen. So the more belly fat you carry, the more testosterone you lose to estrogen, and the higher your estrogen climbs, which then encourages more fat storage. It becomes a loop. More fat, more estrogen, less testosterone, more fat. Breaking that loop is one of the most powerful things you can do, and we'll get to how. Sign number 2, fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. I'm not talking about being tired after a long day. I'm talking about waking up after a full night's sleep and still feeling like you're dragging a weighted vest around. When your hormones are balanced, testosterone gives you that get up and go, that sense of drive when you swing your legs out of bed in the morning. When estrogen dominates, that drive gets muffled. Men describe it as a kind of flatness. The motivation that used to come naturally now takes effort to summon. If you found yourself sitting in the driveway after work, just not wanting to go inside and start the evening, that low-grade depletion can be a hormonal signal, not a character flaw and not laziness. Sign number 3, mood swings, irritability, and a shorter fuse than you used to have. We tend to think of mood and hormones as a women's health topic, but men are deeply affected too. Estrogen and testosterone both influence the brain chemicals that regulate your mood, your patience, and your sense of calm confidence. When estrogen runs high and testosterone runs low, a lot of men feel more anxious, more easily annoyed, and strangely more emotional than they used to be, sometimes tearing up at things that never used to move them. One man I spoke with told me he snapped at his grandkids over something trivial, and then sat there stunned, thinking, "That's not me. That's not who I am." If your temper feels like it has a hair trigger lately, or if a heaviness has settled over your mood for no clear reason, your hormones deserve a look. Sign number 4, low libido and weaker performance. I'll keep this respectful and clinical because this channel is about education. Your drive in the bedroom is governed largely by the balance between testosterone and estrogen. When that ratio tips toward estrogen, desire often fades first. The spark that used to be automatic just isn't there, and many men quietly assume it's simply what happens after 50 and that nothing can be done. I want you to challenge that assumption. A change in desire is information. It's your body telling you something about your internal chemistry, and chemistry can often be supported and shifted with the right habits. And before I give you signs 5 and 6, this is the moment to tell you, if you want faster, longer-lasting results, I've put the exact natural support I recommend in the link below this video. Take a look after you finish watching, because the signs only matter if you actually do something about them. Sign number 5, brain fog and a memory that isn't as sharp as it was. You walk into a room and forget why. A name sits on the tip of your tongue and won't come. You read the same paragraph 3 times. It's easy to brush this off as just getting older, but your hormones play a real role in mental clarity. Testosterone supports focus, drive, and quick recall, while an estrogen imbalance can leave your thinking feeling cloudy and slow. Many men tell me the fog is the symptom that scares them the most, because it makes them feel like they're losing their edge. the sharpness that defined them at work and in life. The encouraging part is that mental clarity often responds well when you address the underlying balance. Sign number 6, water retention and a softer, puffier look overall. High estrogen can cause your body to hold on to extra fluid. You might notice your face looks a little puffier in the morning, your hands or ankles feel swollen, your rings feel tighter, or your muscles just look less defined than the effort you're putting in at the gym would suggest. That loss of hard masculine definition, that sense of looking a bit watered down even when you're training, is a classic high estrogen pattern. Testosterone tends to give men that lean, firm, dry look. Estrogen softens it. Now, if you recognized yourself in several of those signs, take a breath, because here's the hopeful truth. Estrogen balance in men is one of the most responsive things to natural, everyday change. And this brings me to that hidden driver I promised at the start, the one almost nobody talks about. It's not just belly fat, it's the flood of estrogen mimicking compounds in your everyday environment. Scientists call them xenoestrogens. These are chemicals found in some plastics, in the lining of food cans, in certain pesticides, and in many fragranced personal care products. When they get into your body, they can act like estrogen and add to your total load, so you can be doing everything right and still be swimming against a current you never knew was there. That's the piece most men miss. Reducing your exposure by drinking from glass or stainless steel instead of plastic, never heating food in plastic containers, and choosing simpler, fragrance-free products where you can is a quiet but powerful lever. So let's talk about rebalancing naturally. First, attack that fat loop. Since belly fat fuels aromatase, losing even a modest amount of body fat can meaningfully shift your testosterone to estrogen ratio. You don't need extremes, you need consistency. Prioritize protein at every meal, walk daily, and lift something heavy a few times a week, because resistance training is one of the best natural ways to support healthy testosterone. Second, support your liver and your gut, because your liver is the organ that processes and clears excess estrogen, and your gut escorts it out of the body. Cruciferous vegetables, things like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts, contain compounds that may help your body metabolize estrogen in a healthier direction. Plenty of fiber helps you actually eliminate it rather than reabsorb it. And going easy on alcohol matters a lot, because alcohol gives your liver other work to do and is linked to higher estrogen levels in men. Third, protect your sleep and manage your stress. When you're chronically stressed, your body pumps out cortisol, and high cortisol can suppress testosterone, which only worsens the imbalance. Deep, consistent sleep is when your body does much of its hormonal repair. Aim for a dark, cool room and a regular bedtime, and treat your sleep like the foundation it is. Fourth, get the raw materials your body needs. Certain nutrients are strongly linked to healthy hormone production in men, things like zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, and healthy fats. Many men over 50 are quietly running low on these, and topping them up through good food, sensible sunlight, and, where appropriate, quality support can help your body do what it's designed to do. None of this is about chasing the man you were at 25. It's about becoming the strongest, sharpest, most energetic version of the man you are right now. The signs we covered, the stubborn belly and chest, the unshakable fatigue, the short fuse, the fading drive, the brain fog, and the soft, puffy look, are not a life sentence. They're feedback. And feedback is something you can act on, starting today. If this opens your eyes, and if you want the faster, longer-lasting results I mentioned, the exact natural support I personally recommend is waiting for you in the link below this video. Go check it out, take that first real step, and start giving your body what it's been asking you for. You've still got a lot of strength, drive, and good years in you, my friend. Treat your body like it's worth fighting for, because it is. And the man in the mirror will thank you for it. Just remember, everything I've shared today is general education to help you ask better questions, not medical advice. So talk with a qualified healthcare professional about your own situation before making changes. Take care of yourself, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.